This kitchen is a fire hazard. It looks like a temporary solution built on a very small budget and definitely isn't a safe long-term solution. Here, a movable stove is set on wooden shelves that are way too small. The shelves are overflowing with stuff, and the stove could easily be knocked over as it's not attached to anything. It doesn't seem like the shelves are attached to the wall either. Let's see the rest of the apartment and how we fix this dangerous layout. This next one is an apartment where a single parent lives with their child. We enter the apartment directly into what I'll call the middle room. There is no dedicated entrance area and the room is overwhelmed with different functions. Next to the middle room, we have the main room, which is essentially a living room-bedroom hybrid. The apartment is one big open space with only the bathroom having a door. With the child growing up, the owner felt a need to have more division between the spaces and the functions. In its current state, the apartment is lacking that, with overlapping functions, blurred borders, and an overall lack of clarity. Missing storage isn't making the situation any better. The kitchen is next to the middle room, only separated by a curtain. The kitchen itself is pretty unconventional, using wooden shelving along one wall, with a portable stove and open storage everywhere. The owner said that this was a temporary solution until the renovations, but I definitely don't recommend this to anyone, as it looks pretty risky. The kitchen leads to the tiny toilet, which has a shower partially blocking the entrance, a window, a toilet, and a sink. The apartment is pretty spacious and has a nice length with openings to 3 different directions. The issue, however, is that it's kind of in a corner, so the middle part often ends up being darker and more difficult to deal with. In plan view, we see that the apartment has a very strange layout with a lack of hierarchy and flow. There are many vaguely used areas that need definition, and in particular the kitchen and toilet are very problematic. The dangerous kitchen construction needs to be changed, and the bathroom should never directly open to the kitchen as it currently does. When we remove the existing interior walls, we see that it helps clarify the space a little bit. The wall between the old kitchen and the middle room couldn't be moved as it's structural and likely has a shaft for plumbing. As the owner felt that they wanted their own separate bedroom and that their child should also have their own space, not only for privacy, but also to dedicate a zone for playing and for toys, we decided to propose the following design. The wing where the kitchen and toilet were previously located was turned into a child's bedroom. The middle room was turned into a kitchen dining room with a dedicated entrance area. The corner where the crib used to be was turned into a slightly larger and definitely more functional bathroom with its own window. The wall between the middle room and the main room was removed to have continuous flow from the kitchen to the dining area and finally to the living room. The area where the bed used to be was turned into a real bedroom with storage. The living area is fairly tight here due to its long and narrow shape, but the owner prioritized having more private spaces over a larger shared one. And though it's narrow, it's by no means small. You'll see what we did with the living room, and I think you're going to like it. After the transformation, we enter a dedicated entrance area with storage, a bench, and tile flooring that doesn't mind the mud we drag in with our shoes. Directly next to the entrance, we have the bathroom with a large window and a shower. The tile from the entrance area continues throughout the bathroom. As we've basically covered the window of this corner area with the bathroom wall, we wanted to allow some additional light into the kitchen space by making the top parts of the wall out of glass. The kitchen is now entirely new with a graphic tile backsplash, green and white cupboards, and a gray granite countertop. We also added some integrated shelving in a darker walnut tone as an accent. Behind the stove, there is additional hidden storage. Now, there is a space for eating around a table, for doing homework, and for playing games, something that was very important to the owner. Next to the dining space, we have the living room with a couch and an armchair. The real highlight of the space is this custom shelving unit made to visually store all of the owner's treasures. One of the main issues before the transformation was the lack of storage and organization, which meant that stuff was just everywhere. This new solution allows the owner to display their precious artifacts in an organized way, to swap them out and to store the remaining ones away. Limiting and organizing visual clutter to one specific area can really make a difference in how an apartment looks. Behind this door is the main bedroom, which is now its own separate space. There is a double bed, plenty of dedicated storage, a shelf for important photos, and even a projector that transforms the white wall into a screen for movie night. Finally, we make our way through the kitchen to the new second bedroom. There's a desk for doing homework, a bunk bed for future sleepovers, and some much needed storage. There was some extra space, so we decided to replicate what we did with the display shelving in the living room on a much smaller scale. The integrated lighting highlights some important objects and allow the occupant to display them with pride. We transformed an untidy home into a structured space with plenty of storage, 2 bedrooms, and a much more functional layout overall. Would you be able to sleep in the living room if it meant having a larger, more open space, or did we do the right thing by closing off the sleeping zone? Let us know in the comments below. And don't hesitate to reach out if you have a living space in need of a transformation. We'd love to take a look and see if we can help you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as it allows us to keep making these kinds of videos for you. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.